looked like they were going to beat Chelsea, and then 2 goals in 2 minutes really turned the game around. But it's enough for Forest anyway. They are safe. Forest fans, what must they be making of this? Because do you know what? We talked about what Luton and Burnley will do next season. Forest is the more interesting one to me because Nuno has come in. I mean, they've stayed up, so you've got to give them some credit for that. I'm really interested to know whether they'll stick with him in the summer. I have a feeling that Forest could be a job that will be available very soon. And I wonder what Forest fans make of that and what they want to see their club do next.
Yeah, we had some interesting reaction, didn't we, from fans and comments in the week about, feel like he deserves more of an opportunity coming in, midway through the season. It's a massive job on his hands, and we talk about the defensive vulnerabilities that they've shown all season as well. And I agree. I kind of agree with in a way that it wouldn't surprise you, would it, if they change the manager, because we know what this, particularly under this owner, what's
I don't want to talk about the owner after this week.
But I just don't know whether, if somebody comes available, if there are a couple of talented coaches available, whether we'll look to be a little bit more safe and make a decision at the beginning of a season rather than get into that situation again. Let's be honest, there are things that need to change. You look at the defence; it's arguably not really got any better.
Despite having some very good players in it, like we've talked a lot about Murillo, for example. If Forest wanted to cash in on him in the summer, they'd get crazy money for him. Yet their defence doesn't seem well set up around him, does it?
No, and they've had to make some changes though as well along the way. I think Willy Boll is probably, I think he's probably one of their better defenders, and he's obviously been around the block. He's had some good experience in the Premier League, and I think he's a solid defender. I think he makes it look a little bit more. They look a bit more assured, and when he's in there. But yeah,
to be honest, in this game, it got turned around really quickly. But Chelsea were able to bring Sterling and Reece James off the bench.
I just thought it was really poor few minutes from Forest.
Yeah, it was.
I just thought, particularly that first goal, Sterling's cutting him to that right foot. Why? It was tight. I think it's probably a combination of tired legs and just discipline. Having discipline.
You could say the same thing about Hudson-Odoi's goal, though, couldn't you? You knew he's going to cut on his right foot, but he made it look so effortless, didn't he? It was an excellent goal.
Oh, brilliant! I love Hudson-Odoi, to be fair, because when he first burst onto the scene, we thought, this is a player that's going to come in and play for England for the next 10, 15 years because he looked that good. And he's showing signs of that promise that he did show very, very early on. He's just so effortless in terms of his technique, his striking ability. You don't see many better. I'd probably say there's not many better in the league, to be honest.
The way he hit the ball for the chance just before he scored, even when it comes off the bar, you can see, it's that age-old cut inside tactic from a winger, but he has got the technique to back it up, hasn't he? And there was so much talk around him in his early career, as you mentioned, and Forest, I think, picked him up for 3.5 million. That's got to go down as one of the bargains of the season. And actually, there is enough in this Forest squad to tell me they could kick on next year and be comfortably mid-table, if not more. You can't tell me that this Forest squad is much weaker than, I don't know, who else is around that area? Fulham, even Brighton. There's some very talented players in that Forest team that if they hold on to and build better around, it could be a really successful thing for them. And staying up is the first step towards that, isn't it?
I think some of their buys have been really smart, alongside a bit of crazy buying as well. Obviously, the financial penalties that they obviously received. You mentioned there, I think, Malanga. Awoni's had his issues again, hasn't he, with his fitness. I think you've got to say it's their attack that have kept them up.
Yeah, of course.
Far and away, that their attack is the best among those at the bottom. I think
what's funny is they've scored less than Luton this year, but it doesn't feel like that should have happened because you're right. I think the same thing. Their attacking line is so threatening, and I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah, there's so much room for improvement. I think, obviously, without mentioning Morgan Gibbs-White as well.
They hold on to him.
Yeah, but I think if there's one that they can't afford to lose, I think it's him.
Because
agreed. I just think he's so good. I think he's that good. He could easily be playing for one of the bigger teams in the league. Obviously, competing at the top.
Yeah,
but he's still a player that's developing as well. I think if he's being smart about it, he'll stay because. You mentioned the talent that there's in this. There's a lot of raw talent in there. The likes of Danilo. I really like Danilo.
Danilo's fantastic. I agree.
I think they're a much better team when he's in it.
Agreed.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next season. I just think it's definitely going to be a club to keep an eye on because you just don't know what to expect from Forest.